I think we're about ready to get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Tampa. I'm thrilled beyond words to welcome you to the third annual Auto Glass Week 2014. Thank you very, very much for coming and joining us here today. Those of you who are here are a credit to the industry because you've taken the time to come and learn and advance yourself in your business. Your involvement and your presence here is most appreciated. Thank you. My name is Deb Levy, and I serve as the publisher of AGRR magazine and GlassBites.com, and as the event manager for this event. And I'd like to also introduce the individuals from the other co-sponsoring organizations that have come together to form this one event for you. To my left is David Rolfman, Vice President of the Auto Glass Safety Council. To his left is Matt Bailey, President of the Independent Glass Association. And to his left is Rich Campbell, which is the President of the NWRA. It is a thrill to have all of you here today to represent the organizations which they serve. And so, as not to delay us any further, I'm going to take a moment and introduce David and turn it over to him. David?
The most important word in the Auto Glass Safety Council's name is, of course, safety. And on behalf of the organization, which some of you may still know by our old name, AGRESS, I would also like to welcome you to Auto Glass Week 2013. We hope you get a chance to participate in all of the seminars this week and also stop by to see all of the booths on the trade show floor. Be sure to watch the competitions taking place, paying special attention to see that installations are being done in accordance with the AGRESS standard. Thank you for being here and for your commitment to safety. If you are not part of a registered member company, or if you are not a certified technician, please stop by and learn more about the advantages of being an AGRESS or an Auto Glass Safety Council member at our booth on the show floor. And if you are a part of the Auto Glass Safety Council organization, please stop by and say hello to our staff and learn about some of the new things the council has coming in the future. Now it's my pleasure to ask Matt Bailey to say a few words.
Glass in South Carolina and the president of the Independent Glass Association. On behalf of our members and associate members, I'd like to welcome all of you to Auto Glass Week 2013 and to thank you for your continued support of this very important industry program. It's been a roller coaster ride for the industry in the last 12 months, so let's take a quick look at some things that we have faced. As first and third party administrators struggle to wrap their hands around the full control of automotive glass claims, they've created great interference for independent glass shops through flawed inspection programs that often result in the loss of the job to the administrator's owned automobile glass retail program. In markets where the first party administrators have failed to naturally gain market share, many incumbent independent glass shops have been acquired to satisfy these growth needs of the administrator. For the industry as a whole, the lack of standards and enforcement continues to allow direct marketing companies to enter the industry and create issues for legitimate repairers. It's not all doom and gloom for the industry, however. In the last year, more shops are leaving their network participation agreements so that they may be free to operate and invoice as they see fit. As first and third party administrators seek to create uneven playing fields through legislative efforts, independent glass retailers have struck back en masse and have either created reciprocal law or have struck down the proposed offerings by the TPAs. Direct billing by independent glass retailers has dramatically increased as more shops leave the networks and create procedures for billing at fair and reasonable rates for their markets. Hand in hand to the direct billing efforts, independent glass retailers are winning short pay cases at a growing rate. Independent glass retailers continue to rely on the IGA for guidance and the tools necessary for them to grow and survive. As the IGA continues to light the way for the industry, its membership has provided the information for over 20,000 virtual glass claim inspections per month over the last year. This effort has led to the reduction and/or elimination of physical inspections in many markets. Launched as a member benefit at the beginning of 2013, My Glass Claim has secured over 150,000 claims without steering or inspection interference from the TPAs. Month after month, the IGA continues to develop new solutions and services that are destined to change the future of automotive glass claims processing, billing, and more. We're proud of the direction and the leadership the IGA brings to the industry, and our membership growth remains strong in the USA, and particularly Canada, where similar industry issues burden the independent glass shops there. As mentioned earlier, the IGA continues to innovate and bring solutions to the industry. We're happy to announce at Auto Glass Week 2 new programs called Invoice Express and IGA Brand. Invoice Express is a network and direct billing service that requires no point of sale or minimum invoice commitment for the glass shop. The shop can access their billing information from anywhere at any time and even use the My Glass Claim service to secure their customer and claim. IGA Brand is a program for glass shops to have a brand and identity package created for them, including logo design or redesign, sales material, literature, website, search engine optimization, and more. We're very excited to deliver these services to the industry and our members, and we hope you take a moment to visit us in booth 117 to discuss the details. In addition to our 2 new services, we also encourage you to stop by our booth to see all the member benefits we offer, including Report Apart, Technician Certification, Don't Get Steered, eDirect Bill, Agris Tech Standards Program, My Glass Claim, Total Shop Management, and more. On behalf of the IGA and Auto Glass Week 2013, I thank you for attending and supporting your industry. Have a great show and make sure to take advantage of all it has to offer. And at this time, I would like to introduce Rich Campfield.
Thank you, Matt. My name is Rich Campfield. I'm president of Ultravon and president of the National Winch Repair Association. The National Winch Repair Association is pleased to present its first ever award. Our association, which is dedicated to quality repairs as a first option, has inaugurated this annual award to honor those who have advanced windshield repair industry and those who have aided in growth of repair. Since this is the NWRA's only award and its inaugural presentation, it will be made today. We wanted to name the award in honor of an individual who exemplifies that commitment to repair. So it's my honor to both present this award and to name this award after our honoree today, David Taylor, formerly of Cindy Row and Auto Glass. Repair as a viable standalone business model. Together with his wife Cindy Rowe, they created a repair company that branched out into replacement and became the dominant player, bar none, in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania through Baltimore corridor. Dave has always had the gift of foresight. He could see down the road as to what challenges might come up and pinpoint solutions, said his wife Cindy Rowe. Cindy was running a one-location repair-only company when they met. Dave and Cindy married in 1985 and grew the company together. Dave was also a visionary in terms of repair and what it could do. He also understood the tremendous advantages of repair and also the threats to it. Dave, along with several others, including me, came together to create the National Windshield Repair Association. At that time, windshield repair was under attack on several fronts. Dave worked tirelessly to form an association, help educate people, and professionalize the windshield repair industry. Dave served as the first president and served as NWRA president for many years. As Cindy recalls, it was all-consuming for many years. In fact, when NWRA needed funding in the beginning, Dave and Cindy provided it, along with the staffing and other assistance. Now, NWRA, with its Rolex standard, robust repair technician certification program, and more, would not exist without the work of visionaries such as Dave Taylor. Today, Dave and Sydney are busy cycling around the world and running the bicycle club not far from here where they live in the villages of Florida. I think our NWRA president, Dave Casey, put it best. Dave Taylor is a master at deciphering the real motives and the ultimate end of the story. He is always willing to share his insight and wisdom. He has always given his time to any member of the industry that asks for it, from the tiniest windshield repair company to the president of the biggest replacement company. Dave was there with the best advice. He was successful enough, confident enough, and gracious enough to share his methods for success with anyone in the business. It is for this and many other reasons that we are honoring Dave today and naming this NWRA award after him. It is my honor to present the first annual NWRA Dave Taylor Award to Dave Taylor.
I never saw Mike I didn't like, so I can take a minute. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, and I have to say, I want to mention some other people. There was a time in 1993 and 1994 when windshield repair was really under stress. And a group of us met in Tucson at another association's meeting. We'll leave them nameless. We sat around the table one evening and said, we know we're going to form an association, we're just going to do it. The people that sat around that table, the only one still here is Richard Campbell, Richard Camfield, Steve Hoyer, Ed Fields, Bill Batley, Dave Shue, Paul Gross, Dave Taylor, Jackie Newman. And I should say Gross is still around. I don't think he's in the room though. Paul, are you here? He's not here. And two other people were key to the NWRA's continuing existence. One was Peggy Stroker. Those of you that have been in the business a while remember Peggy was the real heart and soul. She did the work. I got the glory, she did the work. And later, when we transitioned, and Deb Levy and Deb Levy's organization has also been key to the success of the NWRA. And it's just a great pleasure to be here. It's a great honor. When you've been retired for a while like we have, this is just a great honor. We are just so pleased, and I accept this award, and I also think that it belongs to the other people that are on this list, because you were there that day. You have to remember what it was like in the 1990s. It seems like that wasn't that long ago, but it was a long time ago. There was no internet, there was no email, there was no Facebook, there was no postings. And it was, how are we going to get together? How's the repair world going to come together? I can't pick up the phone and call 5,000 people or 500 people. And one day, guess what shows up? A magazine, the Windshield Repair magazine. At that point, Richard did the same thing. It was his money, it was his talent, it was his thing. He put it together. Now, the retailers had an opportunity to talk to each other. It gave us the communication vehicle so that we could coalesce and get our ideas around to everyone. So Richard, I want you to stand up, and you get a hand here today too, because there wouldn't be no NWRA without Richard. You're welcome. And thank you everyone, it's a real pleasure.
The Auto Glass Safety Council is also presenting its award as well this year. It is the auto glass safety industry's highest honor. This award is named in honor of someone who worked tirelessly for the formation and development of the Auto Glass Safety Council, and the award is named in his honor. It is my pleasure to introduce Carl Tompkins to present the Auto Glass Safety Council's Carl F. Tompkins Award for the advancement of auto glass safety. Carl.
Thank you, everybody. It's great to be back, and great to see so many friends and so many faces we only, kind of like Santa Claus, get to see once a year, so it's good to be here. Dave, thanks so much for that kind introduction, and seriously, I can't express to you the words that provide the pleasure and appreciation I have for this time with you and having this honor named after me. It means so much. I want to start off by saying that the Auto Glass Council does a tremendous job each year, spending much time in analyzing and determining who our best candidate would be. And they don't take this assignment lightly. It's all about excellence in service, and it's all about excellence in achievement. And therefore, this award has become the highest honor that our industry can bestow on a member of our industry. The previous recipients that I've had the due pleasure to present this award include our first recipient some years ago, Ms. Cindy Ketcherside. Many remember Cindy, and I must say that she's doing quite well in Phoenix in her new life and a new career. Bob Burkhauser was our second recipient. I know, Bob, are you here in the audience yet with us today? Bob is here at the show, I know. Make sure to say hello to him. And then, of course, safety advocate, Mr. John Fransway, who we all have a special place in our heart for. Our own Deborah Levy was also a recipient of this award. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we add another name to this distinguished list and ranking of people. In fact, I'm very proud to say it's not a stretch at all to claim that without this gentleman today as our award winner and being such an integral part of our industry, we would not have an AGSC, Auto Glass Safety Council, as David referred to early on as AGRES. In fact, not only would we not have an AGSC, we would not have an AGRES standard. And beyond that, we would have lost our spotlight on what counts to us all, the safety of our public that we serve. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit more about this wonderful gentleman who's this year's award winner. But before I do, I'm going to ask you to join me with all you've got in welcoming to the stage at this time this year's Carl F. Tompkins Award for Excellence, Mr. Bill Ives. Where did it all begin? Bill was born in southern Illinois, where he studied political science. Bill, something we have in common for sure. He did so at Knox College. He was also the newspaper's editor. And catch this for an assignment. He spent 3 weeks in the former Soviet Union at the height of our Cold War, at a time when that was not a safe place to be. He also spent some of his early years in the military. In fact, what an assignment he had. He worked in Germany under the U.S. Army in counterintelligence. Bill went on from there to go to law school, graduated from Harvard Law School, and from there had a wonderful and very distinguished career with a very large law firm in Chicago. Sorry about that. It's an electric moment up here. Okay. But as he retired at an early age, or I'll say quasi-retired, because we weren't going to let him get away, he went out and did something very special. He took an airline flight from Guam to Singapore, where he met a very wonderful woman who was serving him that day on the jet, a woman named Virginia. That was in the year 1977. And through a wonderful courtship, they called it permanent in 1980, where he married. They today enjoy their time with their children and also those 7 wonderful grandchildren. In fact, Bill, we got a special surprise for you today. Virginia has flown here to meet Bill and to share in this very special moment. Virginia, where are you? Enter. We're arguing. Not really. You have another surprise. What is it?
He has a nephew who lives here in Tampa, and I'd like him to come up too.
All right, nephew in Tampa, come on up, join the family. All right. Virginia, this is great. Thanks for joining us. Now on with the Bill and Virginia story. Bill's an avid historian, and he is, believe it or not, a very steadfast disciple of a wonderful person in our history, Mr. Winston Churchill. He had actually served as the president and governor of the Churchill Center at the Cabinet War Rooms in London, and on the Board of Governors of the Association of Churchill Fellows at the National Churchill Museum. Bill's passion of history and being a historian also led him to serve on the Board of Advisors of the Illinois State Historical Society, and he's also the author of a couple books focusing on the life and times of Abraham Lincoln in Illinois. He and Virginia are also avid world travelers. Sorry, folks. Cell phone? I left mine home. You gonna be okay? Over these past years, they have trekked through Borneo, they have slept on riverbanks with crocodiles, and they literally have been the guest at a chief's house in a village of headhunters. So, how's that?
That's pretty good.
From Winston Churchill to dealing with Russians, sleeping on with crocodiles and visiting headhunters. I would say Bill was well suited to tackle the auto glass industry. And which he did, and did well. Beginning in the year 2000, he signed on to work for a small, fledgling startup, not-for-profit organization called Agress. He did all the work to create the organization and to keep it singularly focused on safety. And as many of you know, AGSC, then known as Agress, had a lot of different parties involved, some who may not have agreed totally with the concept and the principle, but Bill did a stellar job in keeping us on focus, on point, together and in a harmonious spirit to deliver the best thing our industry's ever seen. Bill navigated well. He navigated us all well. He was the captain of our ship. And he did it expertly, and he did it with the most professional level of courtesy and patience we've seen. And let me mention something else that may surprise you. Bill didn't get paid, even though the bills kept rolling in from his firm in Chicago. We were strapped for money as a new organization, and Bill, as he retired, bought the debt personally. He brought it to his home in the Carolinas, and it wasn't until the year 2010 that our organization was able to pay Bill back. So he actually put his money where his mouth and heart was. A very, very wonderful thing. Bill is being honored here today for those things, but also for much more. For his help, for his guidance, for his vision, for aiding in the development of all that we've accomplished, witnessed by all of us here today. And that has made the entire auto glass industry more proud and more reason for such. It is a much more professional industry because of the professionalism of Mr. Bill Ives. But I would like to close and say this in presenting the award. He led with what counts. He always led with his heart. And for that, we should all be thankful. Join me in welcoming Bill. David, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you, everybody.